Hello, hello everyone. It's Diane. How are you? Hope you're all well. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Mine was just lovely as long as I get to see my sons and my daughter-in-law and of course hubby's here. I'm a happy camper, so yeah. For those of you who are new to my channel, I am a former Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And because of that, I have a ton of stamp sets, some of which I have never used, and I know there are others out there like that too. So I had started this project, Stamping A to Z, where I went from the beginning of my bookshelf with all my stamp sets, and I'm trying to work my way through to make sure that I use my sets at least once. Some stamp sets, I have used them, but they could use some more love and attention. And then there are other sets out there that I have never used. So the majority of the cards that I make use Stampin' Up! Products. One of my very lovely viewers told me, and she is so sweet because she actually watches my videos and interacts with me. And she said that the card that I had shown that I sent to my family for Thanksgiving, I showed it so fast, she had to go back and pause it and look at it again. So I told her I would show it again. And I did show this very quickly because this isn't Stampin' Up! Products. Some of it is. And I don't know if maybe you don't like that, or maybe you do like that I mix things together. So I think in that last video, I had shown how I ink blended over an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and then I just stamped a bunch of these sunflowers and die cut them, and that's what I was going to use for my cards. And those were from Celebrate Sunflowers, which have a die that matches them, so that it was a great tip if you have cards that you want to mass produce, I guess, or you need several. If you have something that has a die, it was a great way to use that up. But I also did say that I would share this set that I used. This was a Honeybee stamp set that I used. And at the end of the video, because this is probably going to be a longer video too, I was in such a hurry, I didn't share it. So I thought I would come back and do that quickly today. So this is Honeybee Give Thanks. This was the stamp set that I used, and I don't know how this is going to show up the best. It's really dreary here today. We are in winter now. We have some snow, and it's really, really cold. So I do have lights on, and I know that doesn't always play pretty with everything. But I had used this large Give Thanks stamp, and it has some little floral design around it. And I stamped it on craft paper and then heat embossed it just with white embossing powder. I did the same thing with In All Things, and this does have coordinating dies that go with it, so my words were matched up and I could just die cut them all out. And then it was real easy just to go along and start gluing everything down to make quite a few cards. I think I only sent out like 16 Thanksgiving cards. Christmas cards are a little different, and I'm stressing about that right now because I need to get them going. I started them, I have a lot to do. So my paper was Stampin' Up! Paper. I think it was plaid tidings or something. It was in autumn. They have some beautiful plaids for Christmas and autumn that have come out in the past, and I had quite a bit of this, so that was an easy choice. And just matched up my little sunflowers on there, and I did those on shimmer white cardstock because I can see a little bit of the shimmer in there. That's not Wink Stella or anything, that was the shimmer paper. And then just cut some foam dimensionals small enough to fit behind my greeting and added those to the front of my card. A couple little gemstones. I think those were Honeybee gems too. And with this suite from Honeybee, there was a layering stencil set, and I didn't get to use this one yet. And now see, that's the thing. I probably won't get to use that until next Thanksgiving. But I like these because this is the leaves 1 and 2, petals 1 and 2, and they are labeled on the top of each of these, and I don't know if you can see that. There you go, a little bit. So you know that I'm going to do my leaves and stencil first. Take that stencil off, and then I'll use my leaves too, line it up and stencil, and it should overlap. I am anxious to use these because I like layering stencils. I haven't had a lot of practice with them, but we're going to. We're going to one of these days because since I'm showing other products, let me clip these all back together so I don't lose them all. I like to keep my sets together, so I just always put a little clippy on them. And actually this one, the side ripped open, so I'm gonna do it from the side, making sure that I don't catch my stamp sets. I just use a clip and put the coordinating products together. My fingers will work with me today. And then stick them over my little tray. So I have everything together whenever I want to use that set again. So that was my card. Thanks, Beth, for reminding me to slow down and enjoy it. Along with that, we had stamp class Monday. So my ladies that come and do cards, we did 3 cards. And this is just a reminder for you that if you see a card you like, you know, I use Pinterest a lot for inspiration. And this was one of the cards I was inspired by, one that I saw on Pinterest. I knew I didn't have the stamp set that was on there. I knew that I didn't have the same cardboard, the corrugated cardboard that they used, and I didn't have the dies and stuff, but I had other products that I could use in place. And the main idea was to share with my ladies here using pigment sprinkles or brushos, which we did. And so when you see something that you like, if you don't have that stamp set, see if you have something else that was a second one because I made one with them, that would work in its place, because oftentimes, I'll bet you do. I'll bet you have a stamp set setting there. You know, as soon as I saw this on Pinterest, I was like, I don't have any of that. But I do have leaves and I do have some wildflowers. Not an issue. Finding a little border was more difficult for me because a lot of the border dies that I have just cut the die, I don't want to say it, into the card. They don't cut out a border. They just make that indentation. Actually, this might be one of them that we're going to use today. We'll see. So that was one of the cards that we did. Second one, I wanted to use the new boho blue and ended up using Misty Moonlight because Misty Moonlight is awesome and I just liked it better. So we used that. And then excuse me, and then we did one Christmas card. Not everybody sends Christmas cards, but, you know, so we said we would do one. And this was a new Stampin' Up! Stamp set. I used a glitter glue that I have, and my background paper is actually Hobby Lobby paper. So, there again, mix and match some products. And those were my cards that we did. I still have a mess here. I don't have everything put away from that. So, and I don't know if you noticed on that blue card, there was the background is embossed with the Fern embossing folder, the 3D embossing folder. Yeah. Just in case you have that, there's another way to use it. So I have all my little bits I have to separate and put away now. So while I'm showing and telling of other products, while we were doing our stamp class, the inside of the Christmas card, my message was from a clearance stamp set that I got last year from Brutus Monroe. And when I mentioned that to the ladies, they were like, oh, what's Brutus Monroe? Well, Brutus Monroe is a stamp, company. They have die, stamps, stencils, whatever. But they're in Pittsburgh. And that's an hour and a half for me. My products that I order from them come very quickly, as opposed from Riverton, Utah, where my Stampin' Up! Stuff comes from. That takes a long time. So anyways, they were all interested in Brutus Monroe then. So I showed them. These were the clearance items that I got last year. So for me, they're new. And when they have a clearance, they have a clearance. And then this was another one. I really like this scenery picture. So I thought I would maybe try those on a couple of my cards this year, if I can get to my cards this year. But in the meantime, Brutus Monroe is having a clearance. Now that's my stuff from last year that I hadn't used, right? So they had, well, first, this was a Black Friday special that they had. They had these wooden stacking trays. Are these not awesome for putting just all your paper bits and stuff in? And since my room is trashed at the moment, I need all the help I can get. And those were like super, I'm almost wishing I'd have got 2 sets. I did order from them sterling embossing powder and penny embossing powder. So copper and silver. I like their detailed, very fine embossing powder. I have that one, I think it's called Gourd, and it's sort of an orangish, but when you emboss it, it's the most beautiful copper. It's probably my favorite, but I don't think they have it anymore. I got this stamp from them. Isn't that pretty? It's huge. So it'd make a 5x7, or, if we're doing ours, it's only going to get part of the design, but look how much coloring you can do in that. If you're into sitting down in the winter here on a cold night and you want to color. And then I got layering stencils. So this is why I said we're going to be doing one. Probably, I'm trying to open it over here so it doesn't crinkle too loud. Probably for the spring, because this is flowering layer stencil set. Sorry, that's what happens when I'm trying to be quiet. And again, they're all numbered on the top. So I would stencil this flower first and then remove my stencil. And they have a sticky mat. I did get the sticky mat one time. Do I have 2 there? No. But my paper sticks too tight to it. When I go to pick my paper up, I tear it. I think I have to take some of the stick off of it. And 3 and 4. So these are going to layer on top of each other. And it's just going to be a bunch of flowers, but you don't have to mask them because this already is doing that. So we'll give this one a try. But for today, see, that's what I told you. That's already almost 15 minutes. I knew this was going to be a longer video. And I don't have my card made. We're winging it. Today we're up to a Wild Rose. And I have used this stamp set before because some of my stamps were already colored and not back in the right places. So I know I've used it. I want to try to use Moody Mauve, which is one of Stampin' Up's newer colors. We'll see. We'll see. Started out I was going to use boho blue again, but I don't have any boho blue paper because I don't know how to order properly. I now have a bunch of scoring blades rather than cutting blades, and I have extra Misty Moonlight and no boho blue paper. So I have to learn to slow down and pay attention to what I'm doing. To save a minute, I did go ahead and stamp out some of the leaves from this stamp set and die cut them. They did, because this is an older set, have a coordinating die That was Wild Rose dies. And this has one of those borders. Now this one's going to cut it out. This one, oh, but that one might have been too big on that white card. Yeah. I don't know if you know what I mean. Like it'll cut the design into the paper, but it doesn't cut the border out, is what a lot of mine do. This one I think would cut it out because it's got the blade, or it has the ridge around the edge of it. So let's get started. Huh? Let's make a card. I did get a piece of crumb cake cardstock, an 8.5 by 11 sheet that I cut in half, scored down the middle and folded. Just our standard. And then I did cut a piece to 4 by 5 1/4. This is what I want to use as my panel. Well, I don't really have good light today. It's just so, there is like no sunlight at all out there. It is one of the cloudiest days we've had in a while. Let's see, I don't know, will this help if I move it closer? Well, that's shining right in my eyes, but maybe it'll help. And then I found 2 pieces. I don't know which one. If I use this, I don't know that my Moody Mauve will look right. So I might just use this paper, and that came out of, oh, what's it called? One of those packs that I loved, and of course I had to buy it 800 times, so it's going to last me forever. Share What You Love. I don't even know what year this was from. I still have tons of it. So when I decided on mauve, I was sort of hoping, I thought this was more of a mauve, but this is more pink. So I thought maybe what we could do is let's make a little bit of a background on here with just crumb cake ink, just to give it some interest. Here, if you don't want to do this, you might want to use an embossing folder on here to give it a little bit of interest. I want to get a piece of scrap paper to put under here because I'm going to stamp off the sides. Oh, I'm here. I'm going to stamp off the edges. And I'm taking the, make sure I have the right one. This is just, there are 2 roses in here. So there's one stamp set that is just this outline, and then there is another one that is sort of like a detail stamp to go inside, and then this one would be, as you can't see it, this one would be just a color. And even for like my leaves, when I used the color fill, I stamped it off once and then filled in the stamped image. So that is why there are so many. So let's just make kind of, oh thank goodness that's going to go down the middle because my ink is rather light right there. And I'm hoping you can't hear the tapping outside. I put a new suet cake in my feeder yesterday because we did have snow. The small piece of suet that was left in there was sort of frozen. So I took that small piece out and put a new cake in. And I'm not sure if my woodpeckers prefer the small piece that I took out and it froze to the railing on my deck, or if they like the new suet cake. But they're just going to town on that, so as long as they're fed. And the cat's happy because she gets to watch all the birds come, so. Okay, that's going to be our background panel. Do I need this? I don't think I do right now. So, close it up and don't put my fingers in it. And then, depending on which one of these colors I want to use, we'll put this down the center. Make a couple of the roses and put on top. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like once we get our roses done. So I am going to try the Moody Mauve. Have fuzzies on it. Oh, and I don't have all my tools put away from Monday, so everything's sitting here in a little basket. Try to get these two little hairs off of here, because if you don't, I don't know what that is. When you go to stamp, you're going to have a couple lines across your image where the hair was. I don't want that. Okay. So let's try. I think what we have to do is, I want two flowers. So maybe, do I want the same one and then, maybe. All right, so I'm going to use the same stamp that we just did our background in. And do my outline. I don't know, we might have to use that crumb cake piece. Then I'm going to use the not the completely filled in one, but this one. And these I have not used. So I need my scrap paper back here because we're going to do second generation stamping in that. Got a couple practices first, since I haven't used this. Yeah, that'll be pretty. Okay. Oh, I just threw my stamps on the floor. Stamp it off one time. Sorry, I'm just off to the side stamping that a little bit. And then this one actually looks like I might be able to find where it goes. Maybe. Let's go that way. I can't see through the glare. No. No. Maybe. Let's try it. Let's try to get some of this on camera so you can see. So I'm stamping it off once, and I didn't do that well because this is in my way now. I'm just out of room. That's all there is to it. Okay. I don't feel like I'm lined up the right way. Excuse me while I get right in your face here. Huh? I feel like it should go like that, but it doesn't match up there. So, see, is that what I just did on the other one too? Maybe. Okay. Kind of hard to see because it is light. But I don't want it dark because I want to be able to see the stamped lines. Now we need, let's close this up again so I don't stick my fingers in that one either. And now we need our die. Should probably put these stamps back on here so I don't end up losing one at this rate. There's so much out right now. It is a true risk. Oh, I was going to say I'm already missing stuff. That's the one I dropped on the floor. There it is. And then we wonder how we get fuzzies in that. On this floor? Woo! I don't stand a chance. Okay. Move you over there. Dies. We need our rose die out of here. Watch out, little wooden trays. Oh, geez, I might have my light in the way now. We will see when I put this through here. If it comes out and knocks the light over, I'm going to apologize ahead of time. Yeah, so I really do thank Beth for commenting and letting me know you had an interest in that, because, you know, if you've ever done YouTube videos, it's a little bit scary sometimes, because I mean, I'm going to make cards, and I just like to share ideas. Maybe you have a stamp set that you don't really know what to do with, and maybe I just happen to be making a card that you could use that stamp set with, then yay. But I don't have a lot of viewers or subscribers, and that's okay, because this isn't my livelihood. I know for some crafters out there, this is their job. And, you know, that makes me think of something else too. So when you're watching those YouTube videos, and if it's maybe something that you don't like, or it's not your cup of tea, or you think they should have done something different or whatever, move on. Don't, I really feel bad when some of the channels that I follow will say that they had a nasty comment or whatever on their video, and I'm thinking, why would anybody even do that? There are so many things out there to watch. If you don't like it, then so just watch something different. Why would you try to do that to somebody and make them feel bad? Yeah, I don't know. That makes me sad for them. For me, I've only ever had a couple of negative comments, and I just kind of apologized and moved on. But again, this isn't my livelihood. I'm trying to share some ideas with you. You know, some of the things maybe I've been inspired by what I saw on Pinterest, and if it is a design that somebody has used on Pinterest and I'm making the same, I try to tell you that. I try to let you know who that originally came from. That white one, I probably should have written that one down, because that's real similar. I mean, the stamps and the dies are completely different, but the white on white on white, yeah, that was not my idea, even though I love it. So anyways, this one was inspired by one on Pinterest. Oh, my eye's itchy. Yeah, see, I think this is too much of an orangey pink, and this is too much of a red pink, so we're not going to use that. But the one I saw on Pinterest, I also knew I didn't have the colors that they did, and I didn't have the ribbon and stuff that they did. This is fresh fig. That's pretty doggone close. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use Fresh Fig with Moody Mauve. How do you like that? This was some twine that I had over there. I thought maybe if that ribbon didn't match, I could use this, but that's really close. All right, now, where did I put, oh, all my stuff from Monday. Here, my glue dots and dimensionals and such. Alrighty. Because I need a little glue dot to put my ribbon there on the back of this centerpiece that I'm going to add. And I think we'll have it just inside the edge of this panel. This was a 2-inch wide by 5 1/4 panel of paper that I just want to put an accent down the middle. Who would have thought? You know what? And I think I have some Fresh Fig paper. That might have been fun to use. Oh well. Next time, right? Next time. So do you put up a Christmas tree? Do you have it up yet? I got my tree up, and I do try to every year make. I always am into something different, I guess. So I hate to say it's a theme tree because it's not like I'm doing a Mickey Mouse tree or something like that. But I do try to, I'm going to try to straighten that up a little bit. I pick like a color theme that I want to use. So this year I decided I was going to use all white lights on my, I think I need one under there to hold it down, on my tree. And I almost always have gold in my ornaments. So this year I thought, well, I'm going to use silver instead of gold, which is a little harder because all my decorations have gold in them. But I have enough. Lord knows we have enough decorations for about 9 trees, I think. And I thought red would be pretty with the silver. So I was going to do red and silver and white, because a lot of my decorations are red and white. So so it takes me a while. By the time I figure this all out and go digging out my ornaments and stuff, it takes me a couple days to do a tree. And I asked my son last night, I said, so do you like the colors? I'm going to do red and white and silver. And I forgot that he's colorblind. He's like, there's no red. I said, yes, there is. I don't have a lot of red decorations, but I have some, you know, and I thought maybe if I think I have red ribbon to do a garland. I said, Mom, red and green, all the same to me. It's like, oh, that's right. So you're not really helping me out at all. Forgot all about that. So to him, it looks like I have this one big blob tree there now. I'll put this in the center. Let's use some double-sided tape on this because I do have that ribbon, which makes it a little bit thicker, a little bit more sticky up here. So when I'm done with this and start getting it uploaded, I want to see if I have some ribbon to use as a garland on our tree. And then I might try to get some of my Christmas cards underway. And I'm going to make potato soup for tonight because it's so cold and blustery. It'll be a nice dinner. I should be really a good girl and try to make a loaf of bread to go with it, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Puppies are all doing pretty good. Judd, my son's dog, that had to have his toe removed, Oh, he was something today. He had started to take his bandage off. So I changed his bandage this morning while my son was getting ready for work. Uh, Went downstairs to add some logs to the fire after he had left, and I came back up, and Judd had taken the second bandage off. So I had to rewrap it. I wrapped it up a little higher so he can't get it this time, I hope. And I can't wait until the bandaging part of this is over with. Cammie, my old girl, she's doing pretty good. Let's see, we've been giving her, we got from the vet, it's called Mauve, and it's a joint supplement. Cammie is about 15 years old now, so her joints are a little achy, and she doesn't really jump up and move around a whole lot on her own. She needs a lot of help. I have to tell you, I think the Mauve is making a difference. These I'm going to put on some dimensionals, I think. Hey, that's not bad. So I guess what I need to do really is put my dimensionals on the outside and adhere the flower flat over that ribbon. So let's do that. Yeah, I think so. We could either leave, I don't know if that's exactly where you're going to go yet. And then I think I'll put dimensionals behind all of this one. Bring it forward a little bit on the card. Whoop. Yep, so depending on how pups are doing is probably going to determine whether I make bread today. Take a look at the soup. Oh, I hit you with my glue. Sorry. I'm always smacking you around, huh? So sorry. I think I'm going to trim a little bit of that stem off of there. I want it to be a little bit closer to the flowers. And I must have my dimensional in the way. I do have it in the way. That's better, I think. Better or worse? No, I don't like that one. Oh, and these ones I didn't die cut them very good. I got a little, actually I think sometimes when I use my magnetic plate and I'm putting it through, if I bump it, it shifts my die over a little bit, and then I end up with a very large white border. I don't always like. So we'll just trim it down. think I hear Cammie down there moving around now. Oh, I'm almost done. So I'll have to figure out a greeting on here. I didn't do that. I know it's that dimensional that I have under there. It's in my way. Yes, it is. There we go. I need to go down. Okay. All right. Where it lands is where it lands, right? Better. Well, it looks almost like the one that I cut the bottom of the leaf off that I threw off to the side there, huh? Should have just kept it. Okay, let's get a greeting. What do we have on this? We have... Get my sticky stuffs out of the way. We have to be your friend. Hello. Blessed to be your friend and grateful to know you. True friendship is one of God's greatest gifts. Oh, how pretty. So let's just do hello. 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 And how lucky am I? When we were doing our cards the other day, I had used teeny tiny wishes for the one card because on the white one, I really didn't want the greeting to take away from the pretty pigment that we had put on there. So we were using very small greetings. So when I do that, there's a die from Stampin' Up. It's called Many Messages, and it cuts out like a bunch. There was a stamp to go with it too, and you could cut out a whole bunch of words at the same time. Well, I don't always want a whole bunch of them. I just, you know, and especially if I'm using a greeting from another stamp set and I need a little one. And then I use that die and I lay it over top of what I had stamped and find one that fits it, and I can just stamp out little, or die cut out little tiny messages, labels, right? And if I have the paper in there just right, I get extras. Comes in handy for a card like this, right? Oh, where did I put my stamps? So let's do hello. We'll do it with Moody Mauve. I need to get off of here. Do I have my little block in there? I don't know where I put all my blocks yet. I put them. Oh, I know. They're downstairs because I washed them all. There we go. There's another little one. So let's see if we could fit hello on that little extra tag that I have. Cool beans. I was looking to see if I do. I still have the die here. So this is the Many Messages dies. And it would stamp words that fit into each of these little label areas, and then you could just die cut them all out at the same time. But like I said, what if I wanted to use hello out of this set? You know, so I just stamp my little greeting onto a piece of scrap paper and then find out where. Let's just do one so I'm not explaining this very well, am I? Trying to, honest. Okay, so let's just do hello again. So maybe I made another card and I've decided I want to use hello. And I want to die cut that. But I don't really have a die specifically for this set that fits around that word without leaving too much white space, because I don't always like a lot of white space around what I die cut. I take this die and try to line it up like that would work, right? Circle would work. That one might work. And this one would work. So if I were to cut this out, I sometimes end up with extra banners or labels. This I would get an extra one. No, a little off the edge. But I use this to my advantage, not just for the stamp set that I got it with. I just try to make the most of it, and it's come in very handy. And it also then leaves me little labels that I can use for future projects. So another little tip for you if you like that one. So let's use our, oh, I threw them on the floor again. Oh, my goodness. All right. Dimensional on this corner. And a little bit of glue on the top right corner. Should do it. Let's see if we have any diamonds that match. Ooh, just the clear ones would be pretty, huh? I wonder if I can still get these. I need to do a little shop. Oh, helps when you take the cap off. Yep, sure does. Yay! What do you think? So thanks for putting up with me today, showing you some of those extra products. I hope that at least this card inspires you maybe to pull out some of your stamp sets and make a card, send it off to a friend, tell them hello, and let them know that you appreciate being around them. And until next time, everybody, enjoy putting up your Christmas decorations, and I will see you again soon. Thank you. Bye.